Alright, so I guess we're live now. Um, for those of you who have just joined, could you please confirm that you can hear me properly and you can see me properly, and that there's no problem with the tech side whatsoever, such as the connections, the image, and the sound. And we'll wait for more people to join, but just help me confirm that everything is fine from your side. I think all the setting is good now, but just wanted to confirm that all of you can hear me properly and see me properly as well. For those who have just joined, let me know how's the tech side going for this setup, because I haven't been live for quite some time, so not sure if I missed out any settings. And we'll probably wait for more people to join as well, and then we shall get started. Maybe about 5-10 more minutes. Let me know that you can hear me properly. For those of you who just joined, I'll just type in the chat. Uh, okay, I guess we're doing good. We'll probably wait for 1 or 2 more minutes and we'll get started. Okay, I guess we shall get started. Let me kind of confirm. Just a minute. Okay, so let's get started with today's SEO news. Um, okay, so this is where I get all my SEO news from SEOroundtable.com, a place where you can always get the latest updates regarding SEOs in the SEO industries. So, first news: Google says that redirect signals stick with destination URL after a year. So, this is kind of confirmed of what many people speculated, that after even a year or two your redirect signal kind of stick with the original source, original URL. So make sure to keep your 301 redirect up at least forever. And that should, because sometimes Google bot can always come back to crawl the old URL and to recheck the signal again. So make sure you let it stay up for at least a year or two, right? The more content, the longer, of course, to stick to keep the redirects. Next up here is 23% of Google top stories URL are not AMP. So at the beginning, I think, of this year, this month, right? Or maybe towards the end of last month, Google reported that they're gonna now allow that non-AMP pages to be displayed in the top story carousel as well, due to the page experience update that was rolled out. I think it was in the beginning of this month, I guess it was, or yeah, it was after the June core update was over. So Google that time announced, and now is saying that almost 23% of all top stories URL are not AMP URLs. So over time, obviously, this will increase, and we'll see more of the non-AMP pages in the top story carousels. Next important news that I'd like to report on here is so this one yesterday, I think yesterday Google announced, actually published a blog post on how to understand or diagnose the traffic drops from your search console. So this is kind of like the four graphs that they kind of show in their documents. So the first graph is the sign of either technical or manual actions. Second graph is seasonalities, right? If you kind of have graph something like this, it means it's usually due to seasonality there. And third part here is either technical issues on a page level, or algorithmic changes, disruptions, or algo hit. If we got hit by any updates, such as core updates, this is how the graph usually looks like. And lastly is the glitch, right, on your side. So I'm not sure what does that mean. So yeah, this kind of like a good beginners, not really beginners, even intermediate can learn a lot from how the graph looks like. I mean, if you've been doing SEO for quite a while, you will know what does each of a graph means. But now it is more clearly demonstrated and explained as well. So make sure to check out the documents here on the official Google blogs. Next news that we kind of have here is so let's check out the more stories, and we can see some of the older news. So let's see here. Okay, so this is a little bit related to Google Ads, not really search engines, not really SEO, but at least you get an idea, right? So Google Ads now have come up with the kind of like a strike the policies on these, on the violations of these three things, right? So enabling dishonest behavior, unapproved substances, and dangerous product or services. So if you got a policy strike for any of these three categories in your ads, you'll be issued three warnings before your account gets suspended, or I think banned. Let me see, what does it mean? Yep, your account will get suspended for repeating these three policies, by going against these three policies 3 times. So these are 3 stages. So first you'll get a warning issues, and then first strike, and then second strike, and third strike, and then you got suspended in a third strike, right? But then this kind of get basically recalibrated after 90 days. So if you're able to maintain the policies with after 90 days, it will be refresh again, right? So just keep that in mind. Next thing here. So this is a little bit not really interesting, but at least you should know. So Google, John Mueller said in the kind of like a recent the Friday's hangout, the Google Hangouts, say that the core updates can impact people also ask results, right? So there was a guy in the hangout asked after the latest core update, he saw the people also ask sections becoming more prominent and ranking higher in the search results. And John Miller says that this is totally normal, and the people also ask and other serve features can get basically affected in the core update as they are the part of the core algorithms, right? And other than that, I don't think there's any more interesting or important news that you kind of need to know. So let me kind of go through it real quick. Um, okay, so this is the last important news, which I think is there in the list here, is that Google John Mueller says that dropping links randomly in forums doesn't help SEO, right? So there was a guy in on Twitter asked him, he wanted to create a backlinks for his website, and thus submitting to things like link submission or forums help. And John Miller says that nope, it doesn't help. I mean, from what I've been doing SEO, definitely forum helps. Forum links still have some value, but it's hardly there, right? And obviously, the more spammy the forum is, the least value it would have, right? Because Google nowadays is getting much better at ignoring backlinks. So it's not just going to be any random drop of your link there, here and there, and you will see results. So of course, quality do matters. So yep, that's the news for today's. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. So yep, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat here. I've just finished reporting the what's new in SEO today. Prince WPSEO says, "Hi, bro." Hi there, Prince WPSEO. I don't think I've seen you before in the SEO live show, so welcome if you're new. Doesn't seem like you're regular um, viewers. But yeah, I just finished reporting the SEO live show. Basically, not SEO live show, but SEO live news. Basically, what's new in SEO industry over the past week or so. So if you missed that, you may feel free to rewatch it again after the live is published. But now we're in the Ask Me Anything sections plus the quick side audit. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I will try to answer them as uh, the best I can to help you out. You have your own SEO channel. Oh, great. Um, what's your channel name? Prince WP SEO, is that the name or what is the name? Prince WP SEO. All right, cool. I'll check it out after this live show. Um, so how long have you been doing your channel? For me, it's been like a year, but I'm not really like kind of focused on it so much. Just do it as a hobby here and there. Just started my new series SEO live show here. This is the 11th episode. Sometimes I get quite a lot of viewers. Sometimes it's kind of empty, but I'm just doing it when I'm free, like free from work. I've been following your channel since last year. Oh, thank you for that. I hope my channel has helped you out. Or maybe, yeah, hope my channel have helped you out in different stuff. I don't normally publish any new stuff nowadays because there's not really nothing else. So I just decided to start this live show here, which I think is a better option to kind of learn about new stuff. And yeah, and I also don't want to repeatedly upload the same similar videos again and again, right? That won't make any sense. Mm. I have monetized my YouTube. Great. So how's it going for you? Maybe I can quickly check out your SEO channel here. I want to see how it looks. Prince WP SEO. Let me see here. Hmm. Wow, you've got more subscribers than me. That's good. Let me see here. Videos. Nice, nice. I think maybe you have more videos than me as well. 120 videos. So how many do I have? I have only 105 videos and you already have 120 videos. So that's great. Um, I don't publish a lot recently, but yeah, not really planning to monetize it or anything. Or maybe in the future I might after I reach like about 1,000 subs or stuff like that. But this is not like the main channel of what I'm gonna try to earn money and stuff. Just for my hobbies. So yeah, do you have any questions, Prince WPSU? Uh, but anyway, thanks for following my channel. It's been a great. I mean, I feel happy that at least I have someone who follow. I mean, I do have many people who have followed me. I mean, they do reach out to me from time to time. But yeah, hope my content helped you out in some way or form. Because it's always happy to see other people benefiting from what I do. But yeah, do you have any questions? Or we have a couple, I think we have two people currently watching, but you seem to be chatting. One of only you seem to be chatting. um Hi there, Harjot, how are you? It's nice to see you back as well. Any questions for the from the viewers? I mean, if none of you have any questions, I might want to leave early. So, yep. Prince WP asks, do you share any new backlinks? You mean backlink strategy? You mean that? Um, well, I don't really use any of the new stuff, right? I mean, mostly for backlink, it's just buy them. Because if you're asking for any free strategies, I don't think there's any good free strategies left, unless you're kind of trying to be sneaky here and there in your maybe email outreach, and then try to be a little bit unique when you reach out to people and try to ask for links. I guess that could be like one of the unique ways you can do. But other than that, it's just buy them. It's either you buy them from guest posts, buy from anywhere else, right? The marketplace or whatever. It's just much easier, and also you get a better quality ones as well. I mean, usually what I see from what the free ones here is, you don't normally get good ones, except if you go for something like a podcast, or if you contributed for something valuable online, like to a any news website, stuff like that. And yep, those are very good backlinks, and you got them for free as well. But it's not every day that you get those type of links, right? So yeah, it's much easier to buy them, better quality, and better time saving, and better in everything. Other than that, if you try to find some sneaky ways to get it from, this forums or that comments or whatever, I mean, those are not really gonna be helpful or not really gonna help much. I mean, SEO in other languages are much easier than English. So if you're doing SEO in other languages, sure, you can just buy, any like comments and spam and all those, and you still rank well for that. Other than that, there's really nothing much you can do. So hope that answers your questions. Prince WP asks, do you think profile links still working? Yeah, they sure do. All links are still working. It's just that they don't not every link is equal, right? Some of them will be very powerful, will give you lots of impact, while some of them will hardly give you any impact, which you might feel that they don't work at all, but actually they still do. For like profile comments, forums, all these, um, they're still kind of working for low competition keywords. But if you really want to compete in a very highly lucrative market, I don't think they're still good enough, or they're hardly gonna work because they're hardly gonna give you any impact or any results, noticeable results at least, right? So yeah, I mean, you can still use them, but just like as a supporting links, supporting, just try to like diversify your links, right? So okay, you have guest posts, you have PBNs, you have other type of stronger links, and then you use this as more like a supplemental type ones, right? So that will help you in that case. Or if you are in a lower competition niche, or if you want to rank for lower competition keywords, then sure, you still can use them. Yep, that's the thing. So what's your experience of using that? Are you still seeing them working? I mean, I've basically not really tested it in a very like isolated environment that I can really see a noticeable result. But from what I've kind of noticed, they're still working, but very minimally from time to time. Depends on the keyword and the competition, right? Like I said. So what have you observed? Are they still working really well for you, or is it like kind of based on scenario as well? Basically, like what I just mentioned, keywords and competition level like that. Um, any questions from anyone else? If none of you have any new questions, I mean, I'll just leave early so I can do something else. Or maybe I can try finding some good questions on Facebook groups, various SEO Facebook groups. So that might help answer some of your questions. Prince WP said Google ignores some profile links. Yeah, I mean, if you're getting them from, very spammy places, and sure, Google would definitely ignore them. Um, yep, they ignore lots of links, to be honest. Let me try to find some good questions. Couldn't find any good ones on Facebook. I mean, people are just asking random useless questions, which are not really worth mentioning here. Can't really find any good ones. Um, do you all have any questions? If not, I'm gonna basically. Okay, Prince WP asked, do you think expired domains still working? 301 redirect. I haven't used them, to be honest, ever. But from what I've seen in many of the Facebook groups and many of the people I have talked to, they all say mixed results. Like some of them say yes, they're still working. Some of them say nope, they didn't work at all. And also some even say that they do hurt the website. I mean, after redirection, they saw like sharp drops or big hit stuff like that. So that's why I've never tried or even bothered to try because it's not worth the risk. I mean, I could do hundred of other more useful things, more impactful things, rather than risking myself and buying expired domains and try it. So it's kind of like a mixed results, right? Some say yes, some says no, some say it hurts. So yeah, I mean, there's like lots of different factors that, comes into play. But obviously people, obviously number one is the relevancy. So it has to be very relevant to domain has to be really relevant. And you have to kind of make sure that the history is clean and stuff like that, right? Like a lot of different factors to look into. But even still, even if you feel that the domain is 100% clean, 100% relevant, you might still not see success with it, right? Because obviously we don't know what Google really looks at. So, it's kind of like a gambling, right? So I think it's better to kind of spend your time on something way more useful and um, way more guaranteed that you'll see results. So I don't have any comments on that, but this is what I've heard from what many people said. Okay, so Gopi asked, how do you do citations for business? What do you mean, how do I do? I mean, for citations, just, sign up for any business directories and, give them the name, address, phone numbers. And of course, some of them will have a link as well, so I can place my links there. And yeah, that's it. I don't think it's any confusion here. I don't think it's any difficult here. I hope that is the answers that you need. Or if not, then maybe try to rephrase your question a little bit so I can understand it more. But I guess that's what you asked, like how I do it. Basically, just what I do. I just sign up for directories and write my information there. Just make sure the name, address, and phone number is consistent throughout all the listings. That is very important. You don't have to really be 100% consistent. I mean, let's say your business name is ABC LLC, and in some listing you might not have LLC there. Still, that would be fine, right? Small small differences here and there is fine, as long as the majority of the information is consistent enough. So hope that answers your questions. Fire up your questions, guys, so I don't get bored and I don't leave early. If I don't get any questions, I'm going to leave early and you might miss a chance to get answered. So yep, I'm also will try to find some good ones here on Facebook group. Okay, I don't think there's any more question from you guys. Shall I think maybe I can get off from this. Okay, any more questions? Today we don't seem to have many viewers, so I mean sometimes we do have a lot of viewers and it usually blows up. Today we have quite less people joining, so okay, I don't think we have any more questions from your side. Then I guess that's the end for today's episode. All right, so yep, thank you everyone for joining, and yeah, I'll see you around probably in next week or two, depends on when I'm available. But it will usually be on Wednesday if I ever gonna do something like this, or maybe Thursday. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining and happy with your rankings, and I'll see you around.